Spurs matching up the Charlotte Bobcats, and it was a 1-point win for the Spurs after Charlotte took the lead with about 10 seconds to play on a 3 by Jeff Taylor. But Corey Joseph gave him the win.
The Viking.
You can have video for him?
Sick puppy. Jared, we will have video for you. Let's head it over to Jared Greenberg. Jared?
That's a good thing. It's a medium we have. We need pictures to show people what's going on. Guys, let's tell you about what's happening across the way. And as Joel mentioned, you can watch right now on NBA.com. CJ McCollum, the 10th pick in the draft, having just a fantastic pro debut. 15 points on 6 of 10 shooting. He's hit 1 of his 2 3-point tries. Has 1 assist and has not turned over the basketball once as the Portland Trailblazers lead the Phoenix Suns by 3, 35-32. Once again, the 10th pick of the draft, CJ McCollum with 15 first-half points. He scored 14 of those in his first 10 minutes of action.
Thank you, Jared. And he's got Damian Lillard watching him courtside at Thomas & Mack, who was over in this gym just before in the previous game. Mr. Mayweather, who was on NBA TV with Reggie Miller and Steve Kerr. Final 90 seconds of a 16-point lead for the Bulls.
I was sitting here listening to the interview. Steve Kerr posed the question to Mayweather. He was on the fast break and he had Michael Jordan on the left and Reggie Miller on the right. Who would he go to? Reggie got the call.
Reggie did.
Reggie Miller got the call over Michael Jordan.
Well, had Michael Jordan been sitting there instead of Reggie Miller, what do you think the response would have been? The antagonizer that Kerr is.
Nah, there you go. I'm surprised Kerr didn't throw himself in the mix.
Really? Hit the guy on the trail?
Yeah, hit the guy on the trail.
The spacer. We saw the disparity in the free throws pretty close. The disparity, though, 4 more 3-point field goals for the Chicago Bulls, and another one. This time from Matt Janning, the 25-year-old who played 4 years of college ball at Northeastern. Last 2 years, if you're not going to be in the D League, I think Matt Janning made a brilliant decision. The last 2 years he's played in Italy. So you've got your choice, whether it's France, Italy, Serbia.
I know where I would go.
Roten.
I've got my mom's family in southern Italy. Calabrese.
Oh, that's the clear out with the off arm. Routen taking the chops on the turnover. Final minute. This goes right back to the Bulls with the biggest lead of the game. They walk away from Teague. A break on the deflection. Routen's again. Man, little shove. Thomas with a loose ball foul. There's a reason. He was behind, and all of a sudden, he had the ball. Final 38 seconds. So Malcolm Thomas doing a better job. We saw him in the first half pop out with 16, 18-footers. Ever since, he's been around the rim with his little jump hook. Speaking of the champion, Mr. Mayweather.
Got a fight coming up here, September.
You notice.
Big one.
Say mister. On his good side.
Hey.
Boy, is he fast.
Who do you think he's talking to, Joe?
Probably Michael Jordan.
Yeah. Mike, I didn't
Mike, don't worry. I had to say that. Reggie was sitting next to me. 17-point game. And Marcus Teague has done a good job running the half-court sets. And especially getting to the paint and finding teammates. And the old hockey assist. He may not get a dime every time, but he starts that first pass and then the next one. It's a moving pick on Thomas again, clearing out. Taking the man with him on the roll. To the turnovers, he's got 6. It'll be Eric Murphy checking in. Former Aztec out of San Diego State, heading over to the bench. Malcolm Thomas, who joined the Bulls in the second half of last season. He's also played in Israel and in the D League. Roten up against the big guard, Andy Routen's on the crossover. He got there. Still going to the right side, tried to use the left hand. Big guard and a clear out. They flattened out for him, didn't they, in the final seconds? So Roten going to the free throw line. And the numbers for Roten so far today on the 13 points. He's He's only taken 6 shots. He's been able to get the stripe. That's his 13th free throw attempt. So one of the signs of a lead guard is how many times can you get to the good ones get to the line, what, 10 attempts a game, 12 attempts a game?
That can stop a run by an opponent. Put an opponent in the penalty.
Dominant third quarter for the Chicago Bulls, and there's the block. That's a good job by Gerald Robinson at the defensive end to make sure there wasn't another one for the Chicago Bulls, and I'm talking about a triple that time for Marcus Teague. But Teague and the Bulls, they controlled the third 10-minute session, and we go to the fourth with Chicago up by 15 in Summer League play. Of the day on NBA TV, Summer League play continues in Las Vegas. And a good day to be indoors. 15-point lead for the Chicago Bulls, and at the top of the telecast we're talking about the opportunity for both Tony Wroten and Marcus Teague in the point guard matchup. 2 guys leading their Summer League squads at this as they get ready for their second season. And so far, Wroten has been able to get the free throw line, as you can see, and that really is the disparity. Because the shot attempts belong to Teague.
Well, looking at Teague's intent just from that last move right there, you see it's been about setting his teammates up,
right,
creating pressure, getting into the paint. He's kicked out for a number of shots. I'll shoot this one.
But getting people involved.
Getting people involved, and to the tune of his team, if I can do the quick math, you're up by 17.
And he had, if it was a hockey game, he'd have a lot more. When we talk about assists, because he's had the first pass where the next pass has led to the easy basket. So for Teague, it's his 5th assist of the game. And he's also getting an opportunity as he fouled by Blue to go to the free throw line. He's got a little spring, and you can see it in the smile. He's feeling good about his game right now. And the opportunity that's been presented by the Bulls in this his second season. 29th overall after only 1 year at Kentucky. Started all 40 for Kentucky team that went 38-2. So a lot of success in that 1 year in Lexington.
Well,
And he was a dime guy there anyway. He was second in the SEC in assists.
Definitely knows how to play. You know, look, he came out as a young player, maybe in the playoffs this past season. A little bit of a deer in the headlights, a little over his head. This is just an opportunity, like I said this week here, an opportunity for him to actually play a lot of minutes, gain improvement, gain confidence.
Vanderblue on the bucket. And how much did it stunt his growth not to have somebody mentor him as a lead guard like Derrick Rose could have?
That's a great point, Joe. You lose a whole year watching, you know, the way it's supposed to be done, right? At MVP level.
And what he can do during walkthroughs, practices, whatever they might be, his knowledge of look at that angle and look at that pass that you could get there. Wroten up to 17 points for Wroten. So Wroten's been a guy that's been able to get the line. It'll be Timas on the foul. Well, but back to Tony Wroten. He's a scorer. There's no question. He's not a pass-first guy. He'll have to get the Mike Conley memo because Mike Conley, they had to force him to shoot a little bit more in his second and third season because he deferred almost too much, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. We're just seeing 2 different styles at the point guard position right now. You have Teague setting up, penetrating, kicking, drawing. And we have a scoring approach from Wroten. He's gotten to the free throw line a lot, looking to attack and score first. Even in his stint with the Reno Bighorns in the D-League, Wroten this year, he went down, scored more than assisted. Right. It's really not his strength.
Vanderblue fouled. Murphy helping out. So Vanderblue going to his weak side up against Teague. Help came a little bit late, and free throws for Vanderblue. Chicago's controlled this game. If you joined us a little bit late, it was a real struggle for both teams. They combined for only 30 points in the first quarter. It was 16-14 Bulls, but then the Bulls had a comfortable 8-point lead. make it a 9-point lead at the break and outscored it by 6 in the third. So in summer league play, you also win points by winning quarters, because there could be ties as we get ready after 3 games for tournament play.
Which is the first this year.
Yes, and it makes sense because after 3 games we'll have plenty of teams that are either 1-2 or 2-1. 2 minutes gone by in the fourth. Snell, not many touches so far here in the fourth. But on the drive and kick, it's Murphy. Martinez will clear it away. Nobody accounted for Willie Reed. No help. Deion Thompson got back late. And a timeout for Chicago. They're not happy with the defensive transition, and that's why they call the timeout. So one of the few breakdowns, but Bulls getting back in time. Man, it's down to NBA TV using hashtag Seat140. Joel Myers, Rick Fox, back at Cox Pavilion at the campus of UNLV. Quick timeout for the Bulls for defense. One of the best defensive teams in the NBA. In fact, first and third in fewest points allowed going at it in summer league play. Memphis gave up the fewest points in the league. That'll be over and back. And Godlock touches it. He'll go out of bounds anyway. It'll belong to Memphis on the turnover. Coaches, they go crazy over that. Call a timeout. There's a turnover on your side out of the timeout.
Well, it's going to happen a lot in summer league. You have a collection of guys with very little practice time together, looking to execute. But the teams that do will probably rise to the top here in this tournament style.
Tony wrote his summer league debut, running the offense for the Memphis Grizzlies. Willie Reed going to the line. He'll shoot 2. So more minutes for Reed as they've been able to find him downstairs. 23-year-old from Kansas City going to the free throw line. He played 2 years for the Billikens at St. Louis University. In the D-League last year. Right out of St. Louis U, though. He was not drafted. Played in Spain. In Springfield in the D-League last season. Runs the floor pretty well for a guy his size. Malcolm Thomas, for matchup purposes, is back into the game. Deion Thompson will sit down after picking up the foul. Thomas with 6 fouls, don't forget. And 1 of 2 for Willie Reed. So it was up to 19. Or make it 18 was the biggest lead actually for Chicago. It is now down to 12. Will they make a run? And will it continue? Godlock. Yeah, he looked like a natural on that step back, didn't he?